Welcome to my YouTube channel Statisticians Club. I hope everyone is fine. Please subscribe the channel. Also press bell icon to receive latest videos. Today we discuss the role of type first and second error in hypothesis testing. Let's start. Hypothesis testing decides to reject the null hypothesis or not to reject it. We can also be either right or wrong in our decision to reject the null hypothesis or not to reject it. As you know, in hypothesis testing, we start with null and alternative hypothesis. So our main task is to test the null hypothesis, either it is true or false. And during this process, we may commit error. There are two types of error, type 1 and type second error. If we reject true null hypothesis, then we commit type first error. And on the other hand, if we accept false null hypothesis, we commit type second error. So for detailed discussions, let's begin. The type first error is also called alpha error. Mathematical notation, the other name of type first error is alpha error. It happens when researchers erroneously reject the null hypothesis. The vital point to be noted that type first error can only occur when null hypothesis is rejected. So whenever the researcher makes a wrong decision by dismissing or by rejecting the correct null hypothesis, focus on this point, researcher make a wrong decision by rejecting correct null hypothesis, they commit type first error. Type second error, in type second error, accept the false null hypothesis. Any researcher, if accept false null hypothesis, he commit type second error. Here is the table for type first and second error for easy understanding. Reject null hypothesis. When it is true, we commit type first error. Reject null hypothesis when it is false, correct decision, because our main task is to reject false null hypothesis. Accept null hypothesis if it is true, correct decisions. Accept false null hypothesis, type second error. The probability of type first error is alpha, and we can control alpha when you adopt a significance level. If data produce a p-value that is less than alpha, we reject our null hypothesis and conclude that the difference observed is statistically significant. If you reject the null hypothesis, in case null hypothesis is correct, you make type first error. Remember, the probability of type first error is controlled by your choice of level of significance. Level of significance is also the type first error, and we can adjust type first error by fix the level of significance. It may be 0.10, 0.05, 0.1. According to the situation, you fix type first error. And if your p-value is less than the fixed level of significance, then we reject our null hypothesis. If the value of p greater than the assumed level of significance, we accept the null hypothesis. A type-centered error is possible only if you retain the null hypothesis. So the important point is type-centered error is possible only if you keep null hypothesis. If the null hypothesis is false and we keep it, we make type-centered error, and mathematically the type-centered error is denoted by beta. Here is the example to understand type first and second error from daily life. In a court trial, law supposes that accused or defendant is innocent. This is our null hypothesis that defendant is innocent. After heard evidence during the trial, judge decides that the defendant is guilty. The judge has rejected the correct null hypothesis and he commit the type first error. On the other hand, if the accused is in fact guilty, means false null hypothesis, and finding of judge is innocent, judge find the defendant which is actually guilty, but judge find it innocent, the judge has accepted the false null hypothesis and has committed type second error. What is the relationship between type first and type second error? The value of alpha and beta are inversely related. As the amount of alpha is reduced 0.05 to 0.01 or in other case 0.10 to 0.05 to 0.01, beta goes up. When the significance level value is low, you reduce the chance of type first error and the amount of beta, type second error, increases. We can decrease both alpha and beta by increasing the sample size. Thanks.